Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah, all the brothers. Shalom. Yahweh Shemal Lathabah Shem Yahweh Shad, all the sisters. We the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And what we teach is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in fact the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, according to the Bible, according to history, archaeology, you name it, we got it. You understand? And what we're going to go into today is the title of the class is called The Murder of Black America. You understand? Of course, we all know that, what's the cop's name? Derek Chauvin?
Yeah, Derek Chauvin.
Derek Chauvin. Chauvin, however you pronounce it. You understand? This devil is currently on trial right now for the murder of the brother George Floyd. You understand? And even amongst black people, you understand, black folks is even split on the decision. Talking some black folks saying he deserved to die. Right. I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? They whole concept is if a black man get killed by the cop, then he more than likely was doing something that caused him to get killed by the cop. You understand? But you know what's crazy? Is I bet you them same black folks were saying the same thing when Emmett Till got killed. Right. You understand? I was probably sitting there, well, he shouldn't have whistled at that white boy. Well, he shouldn't have been doing what he shouldn't have been doing. You understand? So, you understand? But here's the thing. You understand? Black man, I got news flash for you. You understand? You don't have to be doing something wrong to get killed by the white man. You understand? You don't have to be. It's been happening to us for 500 years. You understand? Look at what happened to Emmett Till. You understand? Emmett Till was accused of whistling at a white woman, and for whistling at a white woman, you understand? Matter of fact, so like if I could send you on a mission, see if you can find like a description of what these devils did to Emmett Till. You understand, Baba Kashah? You understand? See if you can pull that up. The description, because I have an idea of what everything they did to him. I just want to really drive it home with what was done to Emmett Till. You understand? And the reason why I'm bringing up Emmett Till is, of course, we all know that years after Emmett Till was murdered, the woman who claimed that Emmett Till whistled at her came back and said that he ain't do nothing. You understand? He didn't do nothing. Didn't whistle at her. Didn't even pay her no goddamn attention. You understand? And yet that young brother was murdered for that. You understand? And our oppressor's been doing this from day one. You understand? The Christian church got black people's minds so warped. You understand? You got half the Christian church want to go out and protest. You understand? The other half, you understand, they looking at it as like, well, he shouldn't have been out there doing what he shouldn't have been doing. You understand? Because the thing is they don't care about the murder that's happening to black people. As long as they get to live comfortable and get to live in a position to where they feel like they better than another black person. As long as they feel, because you ever notice, Mardaki, that in the black community, you have black folks that consider themselves black folks and not niggers. And that there's another group of black folks that are niggers. Did you know that? Oh, you understand? And correct me, somebody type in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are black folks that believe that there are black folks on one side and niggers who are not black folks. They something different. You understand? When they live out in a $200,000 house, drive a Cadillac, you understand, go to church every Sunday, those are black folks. But the niggas in the hood who don't go to church, who wear the baggy pants, who smoke weed all day, selling drugs, those are niggers. You understand? And in they mind, this is how you know Christianity is a religion of white supremacy. Because Christianity creates white supremacy amongst black people. even because those people that look at themselves as black folks and as separate from being a nigger, because here's the thing, that black folk gonna go to work, slave all day, and behind his back, his boss man that he willing to kill and die for still calls him a nigger. You understand? All the other white people that he worked with on his job, behind his back, they still call him a nigger, even though in his mind, he's black folk. You understand? And when a nigger gets killed, black folk don't care nothing about it. That's why you have such a divide between Christians and the so-called streets. That's why you have such a divide, because there's clear disdain for their own people. That's why, because think about it, Mardakia. Like in every black neighborhood, you got these big, huge, massive churches. You understand? You got these massive churches in the middle of these black communities. You understand? And then less than a mile away from it, you got a crack-infested neighborhood. You understand? Crack, crystal meth, you name it. You understand? And the whole neighborhood is just rotting away. That's because the Christian church, inside of that Christian church, is black folks that ride down the street and see you addicted to crack, starving, can't afford food, can't damn afford clothes to clothe yourself because of your addiction. And they look at you and they hate you for it. And if you end up in a run-in with a police officer and you end up getting gunned down, them same black folk is going to look at you and say you shouldn't have been out there doing what you shouldn't have been doing. You understand? You understand? You shouldn't be poor. You shouldn't, we got out and got jobs. Why you can't get out and get a job? You understand? That's how they look at their own people, man. You understand? And they fail to realize or fail to accept. It's just like how what we bring out about Stockholm Syndrome. They have such a love and such a desire to be accepted by our oppressor that they refuse to even mention or even hear about how they've been killing us for 500 years. You understand? I want you to, you ever find any information on that?
I got a little something right here. I'm just reading over it right now. That,
okay, kind of.
See if this is good.
Come on, when you got it, go ahead and read it up.
This is 16 News Now. Family members tells what really happened days before murder of Emmett Till. Many of you may be familiar with the story of Emmett Till. He was a 14-year-old black boy from Chicago who visited family in Mississippi in 1955.
So he was 14 years old from Chicago, visiting family in Mississippi. You understand? Read on.
He never made it back home. He was tortured and brutally murdered days after he whistled at a white woman while at a store with family members.
Read again what they said they did to him.
He was tortured.
He was what?
Tortured.
He was what?
Tortured.
Nah, they gave him cupcakes and gummy bears.
He was tortured.
Nah, they gave him ice cream and a free game pass.
He was tortured.
He was tortured, man. Read on.
And brutally murdered.
And how was he murdered?
Brutally murdered.
And brutally murdered. He was 14 years old. He was tortured. And he was brutally murdered. Read on.
Days after he whistled at a white woman while at a store with family members. Now,
of course, I don't know if this article is going to go into it or not. But of course, we all know the fact that the whole time this woman lied. Mm-hmm. And even if she told the truth, Mardakia. The brother was 14 years old. Is that crime worthy of his punishment? whistling at a white woman? You understand? Who whistles at a white? First of all, this brother, what year is this?
Let's see. Is as far as the article or when it's happened, sir?
The article. No, not the article. When it happened.
1955.
1955. Okay. So it's 1955. This brother was from Chicago. All right. So back then, in the 50s, there wasn't a lot of interracial dating. You understand? There wasn't a lot of interracial dating. And most of it during that time period was because black men desired black women over white women for the most part. You understand? Especially in cities like Chicago. You know, during those times, it was beginning to be really, really pushed to accept and love your blackness around the 50s and going into the 60s. You understand? So, come on, man. Like a young 14-year-old see an old flabby white woman, he ain't whistling at that.
Right, exactly.
You understand? At 14 years old, if I am whistling, it ain't in no 30-year-old woman. You understand? It's gonna be at a 14-year-old girl. Because you 14, that's the world you live in. That's what you attracted to at 14. You understand? Somebody if you 14 looking at somebody that's 20, you understand? As a man, you looking at that like that's old. You old. Think about it, Mark. That when you was 14, 20-year-olds look old to a 14-year-old. Like even 14-year-old kids now, they call me OG. Old school. Like, damn, young buck. You understand? Read on.
The killing gripped a nation and many say sparked the civil rights movement. In a rare one-on-one interview with 16 News Now, Joshua Short, the only living witness to this American tragedy, sheds light on what really happened.
Go ahead.
Willard Parker was 16 years old when his cousin, Emmett, and other family members decided to go get some snacks at Bryant's grocery store at that fateful day in August. Willard was there when his cousin whistled at the store owner's wife. Even though it happened 64 years ago, Parker remembers it as if it were yesterday. I go in. I purchase something. I remember him coming in, Parker recalling the events in 1955 at Bryant grocery store. I said I hope he got his yes sirs and no ma'ams together. and Emmett whistled a mean wolf whistle. Man, we could have fainted. Something as a whistle was huge because he whistled at a white woman, according to Till's cousin.
So this brother. Oh, go ahead. So this brother was tortured and beaten and brutally murdered. You understand? And does it say whether or not there was any justice for Emmett Till?
I'm not for certain if it goes into detail of that, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't, sir.
You understand? We've been murdered in this country. This ain't nothing new. We still scream like they said that this murder happened in 1955, and they saying that this might have been what sparked the civil rights movement. You understand? So the civil rights movement, we was doing what? We was fighting for our right to live. You understand? Fighting for some form of respect. You understand? Is it okay if I breathe some goddamn air? You understand? So we've been getting murdered since the 50s. And we've been protesting since the 50s. You understand? Since Emmett Till. We've been protesting. We've been marching and chanting and yelling and screaming. We done went from I have a dream to justice or else, and ain't been no else. You understand? Now we talking about Black Lives Matter. You understand? Which don't give a damn about black lives.
Right.
You understand? If you could, I want you to go to the book of Zechariah and go to chapter 11, verse 5. Baba Kasha.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slayed them.
Whose possessors do what?
Slayed them.
Whose possessors slay them. Our oppressors are our possessors. You understand? America possesses black people. How do you know this to be fact? Because we were taken from one place and brought to this place, and we're still at this place. So Mark Dockett, let me ask you a question, right? You know, you ever had a friend growing up as a kid that had sticky fingers?
Oh, absolutely.
You understand? like he'll come over to your house. You understand? He'll see you got the Ninja Turtles. You got Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael. And he might got Leonardo, Donatello, but he lost his Raphael. And he see you got the brand new jump. So next thing you know, your Raphael is now at his house because he got sticky fingers. You understand? So at this point, he possesses your Raphael. You understand? He possesses your Raphael. Now let me ask you a question. 20-something years later, right? Mm-hmm. You still ain't got your Raphael back. You understand? Where the Raphael at? It's in your homeboy's possession.
Right.
He possessed that.
Right.
That's his. He got that in his hand because it's still in his house. You understand? So we have been possessions of our oppressors of America for 400 years. You understand? And for 400 years, they've been slaying us. They slayed us on the slave ships, 100 million dead and gone. You understand? They slayed us when we got off the boat. They showed up and seen the Native Indians and slayed them. You know what I'm saying? Came to the mainland, seen more Native Indians and slaved them. Went down to Mexico, South America, seen other Native Indians and slaved them. You understand? All through the transatlantic slave trade, slavery, slaved them. From sea to shining sea, Native American tribes from coast to coast, slaved them. You understand? Who else? Then the slavery ended. Black folks trying to have some form of dignity after slavery. That's like, think about it. That's like in a boxing match, even in a boxing match. If a man get knocked out, it's over with. Wow. He get to get up, put his teeth back in his mouth. You understand? Stumble back to the locker room, and he get to rest up and heal and get right and get back on his feet. You understand? But here we are. We just got knocked out. Now we trying to stumble up and get back on our feet, put our teeth in our mouth. We built cities like Black Wall Street, Rosewood. You understand? And then what they do to them? Slayed them. You understand? Whose possessors? Read that script, that part again.
It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slayed them.
Whose possessors what?
Slayed them.
Read it again.
Whose possessors slayed them.
Whose possessors slayed them. After Black Wall Street. You understand? You still got black people getting slayed. Emmett Till, slayed. You understand? Countless brothers got slayed during the Civil Rights Movement. You understand? You got black folks that you'll never hear about. You'll never know their name. They got slayed. You understand? George Floyd got slayed. You understand? Botham John got slayed. Anthony Lamar Smith got slayed. Right. Trayvon Martin got slayed. You understand? Michael Brown. got slayed. You understand? Read it again.
Whose possessors slay them.
Whose possessors slay them. You understand? We've been getting slayed since we got off the goddamn boat.
Right.
Since they got off the boat. Since they showed up, we've been getting slayed. And I ain't talking about the metaphorical slave. Like when you say, "Oh, we about to hop on." I got on 2K, man. That man picked the Lakers, and I picked Chicago, and I slayed them. We ain't talking about that kind of slave. You understand? We talking about slave like what they did to Emmett Till, like what they did to George Floyd. You understand? We talking about slave like what they did to Sitting Bull. You understand? Read on.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Read it again.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. You understand? We go to camp every Saturday in downtown Greenville, man. And guess what, man? We every Saturday, man, we bring out all the crimes that white America has committed to black America for 500 years. And let me tell you something, man. Them devils walk down the street, smile. Some of them give us money. They do not feel no type of way about what their forefathers did, man. What they say? Oh, we ain't have no slaves. I can't be punished for what my great grandparents did. You understand? Read it again.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Not guilty. What happened to George Zimmerman? George Zimmerman slayed Trayvon Martin. And his brothers in them courthouses found George Zimmerman what? Not guilty. They hold themselves not guilty. Go ahead, Al.
So, and this is, that whole Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman, that whole story, man, is kind of one of my favorites to actually talk about, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it was so horrible what happened to the brother Martin. But it's just so much proof that Zimmerman did it, to the point where they actually, after of course he was tried and got off, they actually put a documentary out and then gave out so much information saying what led Trayvon Martin to go. I think it was like a CVS or like a corner store to get those items, and how Zimmerman followed him all the way there and all the way back to that apartment complex. And then I'm talking about, like, you can hear, like people calling the police, and you can hear Trayvon Martin in the background screaming for his life until he was killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just shows so much proof. And it was on, and they actually took it down because it was on BET, like they had like a documentary. Mm-hmm. It was probably like 4 or 5 episodes, and they got like little clips on it on YouTube. And I encourage everybody to watch. I encourage everybody to watch that every single time they get, because it just shows you how much of an evil place that we're living in. Mm-hmm. So I just want to bring that out. So it's like it.
Right, and get I got to give you a hand on that. You understand? Because it's not new that they've been murdering us and getting away with it. You understand? It's not new. You understand? They've been doing this all through history. You know, what the Native Americans went through is current events for us today. Right. You understand? What the slaves went through on the plantations is current events today. You understand? And guess what? Just like how back then, right, when they would hang a brother at the plantation or in Charleston or something, they would take a slave and they hang him for maybe he ran away or something. They bring him back and they hang him. You understand? And it could have been a situation where this brother been getting his head beat every day, been getting raped every day. Cause you know how our precious is. They was you heard her buck breaking. Right. They was raping black men on them plantations. Wow. You understand? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being raped every day, gang rape, by these filthy old white men? And you got to go home every day and face your woman and your children while you getting gang raped. And then you haul off and you finally kill one of the men that's raping you in self-defense. You understand? They feel like you deserve to die for that. And you die for that. You understand? And then what you would oftentimes happen is you would have revolts where brothers and sisters would revolt against them plantation owners.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You understand? They would revolt against, they would buck up against them devils. You understand? And they were so crafty at how they was able to keep black people in line. You understand? They kept us in line by sending in who? Them Christian pastors.
Right.
You understand? That old snakeskin shoe wearing pimp that you call a pastor. You understand? Was set up by our plantation owners to keep you from bucking up against the system when they get to carry out their bloodlust. You understand? When they kill a black man in the street, notice that all this COVID stuff been going on. Ain't no Christian churches out here doing nothing now. They ain't doing nothing. You understand? I don't even remember even seeing it. I done seen some churches go back to having services. You understand? But I ain't seen them out here in the streets doing nothing. You understand? Cause when you out there doing stuff and doing work in the streets, you don't see who ain't out there. Right. Cause you out there. You understand? You know who out there, who ain't. You understand? Read on up.
Come. And they that sell them say, "Blessed be the Lord."
Read that again.
And they that sell them say, "Blessed be the Lord."
And listen, man, let me tell you something, man. You think you waiting on a day where white people would just wake up and be like, you know what, man? You know what? You're right. You're right. You understand? We shouldn't have done it. You're right. It's only fair that we give you this. It's only right. We wouldn't even have this country. If they was decent, maybe. If they was decent, maybe. If our oppressor had any decency, maybe. But how can he have decency when because of your oppression, he thanks God?
Right.
He thanks God that he is able to destroy you and murder you and oppress you and be found not guilty for it. You understand? Read on.
Come. Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich.
He says what?
Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich.
You understand? Hey, America done got filthy rich off of the murder of. Can you imagine? Like, it's hard. Most people can't even really truly fathom the riches that America gained off of the murder and the enslavement of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Mm-hmm. You understand? You really can't wrap your mind around it. You really can't. Because think about it, we have what's called a national debt, which is around $14 trillion. You understand? That's a bill. You understand? You have business owners in America that are worth hundreds of billions of dollars. You understand? Owning or being the CEOs of companies that were started in the 1500s. You understand? And guess what? During the 1500s, who you think was working at them companies?
Right.
Who owned the land that them companies was built on? Mm-hmm. Think about it. You understand? The BMW factory up here in Spartanburg, who you think that land used to belong to? Right. That's a lot of land they got up there. They got a racetrack and all that up there. Right. They got a whole society up there. You understand? Who that land used to belong to? So, it trips me out when some devils be like, I didn't benefit from none of it, man. Listen, the Germans, I don't remember the Germans cracking heads in slavery. I don't remember. Maybe they did, maybe I don't know. I don't know the facts on it. But, a German could possibly say, we didn't bring you slaves over here to America. We ain't had nothing to do with it. They could very much say that. But you know what the Germans do have? They own the company called BMW. And what they did do is they built that BMW factory on stolen land. Right. You understand? And built more factories on stolen land. You understand? And profited greatly off of the companies they built on stolen land. You understand? These devils don't feel bad for what their forefathers did. They thank God. They thank God for what their forefathers did, man. That's what they do. They thank you. When they go to church on Sunday and they pray to white Jesus, they thanking white Jesus for the murder that their forefathers laid down. You understand? That's what they doing. They are thanking God. Thank you, God, for what our forefathers did. What they call them, the forefathers of America. They're like, thank you, God, for our forefathers. Don't they say something like that in the prayer? What I don't even know what it's called no more. The Pledge of Allegiance. I don't know. I don't even know the Pledge of Allegiance no more. Get up on side hand. I don't even know the Pledge of Allegiance. Hold on, you gotta Google the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't know. I don't even want to Google the Pledge of Allegiance. But the Lord, the scriptures say they going. Hold on, Salakia. Well, Salakia. Yeah, it say, for they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. You understand? But that ain't the only thing they say. Read that last part of that scripture.
For I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Read that again.
And their own shepherds pity them not.
Read that again, nice and loud.
And their own shepherds pity them not.
Guess what? Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Your shepherds are your leaders. And right now, a lot of us don't really realize it, don't accept it. But listen, your Christian pastor is your leader. You understand? That's who you pay your tribute to every Sunday. That is the God you worship. You worshiping him. Worshiping Satan. Worshiping the white man. You understand? These are your shepherds. You understand? They consider you their flock. Do they not? Do they not, Mardaki? Right. Don't these pastors consider you to be their flock? That's your leadership. That is your leader. That is your shepherd. And guess what? When you could pay your tithes every Sunday, show up to church every Sunday. You understand? Our oppressor knows that you go to church every Sunday. They know that you pay your tithes every Sunday. They know that you do. They know that you put all your trust and faith in this Christian pastor to lead you properly. And in the time of need, you hope that he's gonna be a good shepherd and give you the leadership that you need, to give you the brotherhood that you need. And you know what's gonna happen? Read that scripture out.
And their own shepherds pity them not.
I'll never forget about the sister. I can't remember where she was from. But the sister, I knew her name. The sister went to this church. She was an older sister. Went to this church every Sunday for like 50 years consistently. Paid tithes every Sunday kept a documented record of all the tithes she paid. Never missed a paycheck. You understand? But then when she had a seizure, she stopped going to church. She stopped going to church. I think something happened, and either she caught cancer, she ended up with cancer, stopped showing up for church, then she went into a coma. That's what it was. She went into a coma and stopped going to church, stopped paying her tithes. She was in a coma for like a year before she died. So when she finally died, the daughter reached out to the pastor of the church to say, you know, my mama died. She would like to have a funeral at the church, yada, yada, yada. These pastors told her, your mother is not a member at this church. Your mother ain't paid tithes in a year. And turned they back on this sister. And even after the sister's like, she been in a damn coma. Right. You understand? They ain't give a damn about none of that. Didn't help with the funeral or none of that. You understand? He ain't feel, that pastor ain't feel a lick of sad. That's cold-blooded, Doc. Damn. That is cold-blooded. That's cold-blooded. And that right there is one of the many, many reasons that the ISUPK goes so hard against these Christian pastors, man. Because that situations like that is unacceptable, man. That is treasonous amongst black people, man. You are committing treason to even stand up on that pulpit, man. You understand? How many of these pastors done slept with brothers' wives? You understand? Slept with brothers' wives. Damn, the brother come to your house. You understand? Fix your car. You understand? Pay you your tithes on Sunday, every Sunday, with that little $100 that they make every week. Right. Still pay you tithes. You understand? Can't barely afford to pay their own rent. You understand? Then you look down on them because they want to go and have a drink. They want to drink a beer. You looking at them all crazy. Now, brother, come on now, brother. You understand? Come on now. Come on now, young man. You understand? Meanwhile, you popping bottles. Yeah, a lot of these Christian pastors, believe it or not, got their churches believing you can't drink alcohol and be a Christian. And the whole time you go to their crib, they got the 1800, 1492. They got the good stuff. Louis the 18th, Louis the 15th, 13th. I don't know. I ain't never had it. Never even heard of it until the other day. You understand? They got the big bottles. The bottles is like this tall. You know what I'm talking about, Mardaki? They got them kind of bottles. The ones that look like it ain't even a real bottle. It's just like, that's a prop. Nah, nigga, that's... You understand? Meanwhile, sister can't even have a funeral at the church. You understand? And guess what? Our oppressor knows that. And that's part of what he says to him. Say, thank God for the murder. Thank God. Our oppressor thanks God for the murder of black people every day. They thank God for the They thank God for the abortion clinics killing 400,000 black babies a year. They thank God for that. You understand? You want to know why they thank God for that? You understand? Because they also know that if it's not for that murder, they know the same thing the Egyptians knew. If we leave them people alone, boy, they gonna run everything. They gonna run the globe. They gonna run the earth. They gonna conquer everything. We can't leave them alone. We got to enslave them. We got to oppress them. We got to keep them under our thumb. You understand? That's the same thing the oppressors learn. The white man learned. He understands that because he know who he have in his hands. He know who he has in his possession. He knows that he has to keep us divided and stupid and ignorant and doped up and homosexual and turning against each other. He need to keep all of that going on. Need more of it. You understand? Who you think is pushing for all this black on black violence? You understand? First of all, the black on black violence started because of crack cocaine. Right. Because of drugs being distributed in black communities. You understand? And where the drugs come from? They ain't come from us. We didn't have the planes. They destroyed our planes, Black Wall Street. Right. You understand? It's like I think somebody might be trying to You understand? They destroyed our planes during Black Wall Street. You know what I mean? Shalom, Mikey.
Hey, shalom from the thighs, sir.
I'm shook a thug. All right. Hey, I'll wait up with the water. You understand? So they thank God for that. They thank the Most High for it. You understand? They not only do they thank God, but they look at us and they see that our own shepherds pity us not. They don't give a damn about that murder. You understand? They don't give a damn. Cause you seen that movie, what's that movie called? Birth of a Nation? With Nat Turner. You understand? That's an almost powerful movie.
Right.
It's almost powerful. You understand? They left out the part where he found out he was an Israelite.
Right.
You understand? They left that part out. Looked up in the sky and seen a serpent and knew that the white man was the devil. Right. You know, they left out that part. You understand? But you know, that's neither here nor there. You understand? But nevertheless, you understand? In that movie, he shows you it's still heavy because it shows you how they groomed him from a child to deceive his own people. You understand that? And guess what? Now they just do it on a whole different scale. It's a whole different scale. Now, because here's the thing, right? If you look at it like this, right? You understand? If you look at it like this, right? Now they don't have to raise him up from a child. All they got to do is grow up in a Christian household. And then from that Christian household, he gonna go off and be halfway homosexual all through high school and middle school, right. Be in the what they call it, the choir. You understand? Man, I ain't been a Christian in so long. I'm forgetting all that stuff. The Pledge of Allegiance, the choir. You understand? So it's like you got to grow up in one of them households. You grow up automatically in a Christian household, going to church every Sunday. You understand? Just text him. Just give him a call and ask him if it's the wild. Cause I don't. Do you know what that was for? So our oppressors, they look at our pastors and our leaders and be like, damn boy, you know what? We ain't got nothing to worry about. We ain't got nothing to worry about, Brucey. We rich. Right. And guess what? They own leadership. They don't give a damn about them. Look at them. Look at them, Brucey. You understand? You know how them devils be looking. You know how they go. That's how they do. They thank God for the murder of their forefathers. Right. And then they look at the black leadership and they know that them Christian pastors don't give a damn about them. You understand? And it benefits white society greatly for us to be blind and following leadership whose sole purpose is to make us better servants to our oppressors. it is extremely beneficial. It is extremely beneficial for white supremacy for you to be a good Christian.
Right.
It is extremely beneficial for white supremacy for you to look at another black man and hate him just because he don't go to the same church you go to, or because he don't go to church, or because he actually a man and you a half homosexual who pastor sleeping with his wife. You understand? While you paying tithes to him, you like, I wonder, I think Pastor Mike got a thing for my wife. But I don't quite, I know my wife be going over Pastor's house sometimes real late at night. We taking that good macaroni on Sunday. Don't even make me no macaroni.
Right.
We paid extra tithes. I still be trying to tell Pastor, let my wife come home sometimes, and she, but nah, Pastor wouldn't do me like that. Yeah.
It's like,
Go ahead.
Pastor wouldn't do me like that. He's a man of God.
He's a man of God. You understand? Think about T.D. Jakes. Listen, man, I don't know what T.D. Jakes died of. All I know is, go ahead, they said he had cancer or something.
It was Eddie Long.
Eddie Long, Salaki.
He turned into a razor.
Yeah, he turned into a razor, turned into Al Sharpton. Yeah, Eddie Long. Eddie Long stroke. Listen, man. Eddie Long, listen, didn't give a damn. Eddie Long didn't give a damn about black people. Didn't give a damn about them. Wanna know why? Because he was molesting their kids. They male children. So, let's make that clear. Eddie Long was molesting their kids. Had them kids, I think didn't one of them kids grow up and contemplate suicide or something like that?
I think he did commit suicide.
Okay, yeah, them boys was messed up from that, man. And look, that happened on national TV. Listen, white America sat there like, thank God for my forefathers killing them Native Indians, taking this land. I wonder if that's how they pray behind closed doors. You understand? Because that's got to be what they pray for. Because they got to know what their forefathers did, man. You know what I mean? Andrew Jackson, John C. Calhoun. You understand? John C. man. That man right there was like Thanos in real life with the Infinity Gauntlet. You understand? That man was a slaughterer of black people in Charleston. You understand? Anything left on that scripture? Matter of fact, read it again from the top. Oh, yeah. Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5. Matter of fact, drop that. I want you to go to Lamentations chapter 4, verse 18, Baba Kashah.
4 and 18.
Okay. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 18. They've been murdering us since the beginning.
Right.
You understand? They've been slaughtering us. We've been you play that game Nazi Zombies on Call of Duty. Well, guess what? We've been the zombies the whole time without the guns, just getting blasted, getting mollywopped. You understand? That's what's been happening to us for 400 years, man. Go ahead.
4 and 18.
Yeah, 4 and 18.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 18. They hunt our steps.
They do what?
They hunt our steps.
It says they hunt our steps. They hunt our steps. You understand? Think about that. You understand? They see, while we thinking we can just live, we just trying to live. We just trying to live a normal life. Just trying to raise our kids and be good fathers and see our kids grow up and make babies of their own. That's what we trying to do. You understand? But our oppressor, they trying to murder us. They trying to figure out every way they can to put an end to black people. You understand? Read that again.
They hunt our steps.
They hunt our steps. You understand? Think about that. That's heavy. They hunt our steps. Your steps. That's in front of your house.
Right.
Where you live, where you feel safe. Your safe place, your personal place. You understand? You just trying to live. You understand? And they hunt our steps. They looking to seek us out to destroy us. You understand? Think about it. They ride through the hood. Police ride through the hood all day. They don't ride through the suburbs.
Right.
There's more meth getting smoked around the corner from where I stay at than all the crack on South Side of Anderson. You understand? The cops don't be riding through there. You understand? Read on.
They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets.
That we cannot go in our streets. You understand? Black people is terrified right now of the police. You understand? Terrified of the Proud Boys. You understand? Terrified of, every time they see a Confederate flag, they terrified. Why are they terrified? Because them people, they wear them type of things and represent those type of systems and cultures. They used to hunt our steps, literally. They used to come to our front yard and hang crosses in our front yard and set them on fire. And you know what they did after that? Drug everybody out the house and hung them. You understand? They used to hunt our steps. They still hunt our steps. They hunted George Floyd's steps. Took him out his personal place. He was in a vehicle. Took him out the vehicle and choked him to death. You understand? Trayvon Martin. George Zimmerman tried to frame it like, oh, he wasn't supposed to be. Come on, man. All that stuff you made up in your head, man. You made all that up in your head. Turned out he lived over there. His father lived right around the corner. You understand? He hunted Trayvon Martin down. Did he not, Abon? Mm-hmm. Everything he did, he was like a hunter. The cops told him, leave him alone, sir. Take your ass in the house. Don't go over there, sir. Stand down. And next thing you know, Trayvon Martin dead at the hands of this man that the cops told to stand down. Go ahead.
And Salaki, sir, you could hear him kill Trayvon Martin on the phone call with the police, with the dispatcher. On the phone call. You got to hear your child be murdered and shot. You could just hear your son's screams as he's brutally murdered by some devil. And the devil got off free.
And see, here's the thing, man. You would think, and I partially can't blame some black people for doing this. But some black folks come from neighborhoods where they so rough, kids getting killed by drive-bys. They getting killed by straight bullets. You know what I'm saying? So they work hard. You understand? Working two full-time jobs and a side job just to be able to move their family from that neighborhood that they from to a white neighborhood, to a upper class neighborhood. You understand? And they fight hard and struggle to do that, sacrifice to be able to do that, so that they kids, just in fear of their children getting hit by a stray bullet. You understand? But then the thing is, when they get out there, guess what? Now they surrounded by the real enemies that don't want you out there. You understand? That's how a lot of that KKK, the KKK antagonized a lot of black people for moving in white neighborhoods back in the 50s and the 60s. They was terrorizing black people, coming where you live at. You understand? To the point where you used to tell your kids don't be out too late. You understand? One day, black folks gonna wake up and be like, wait a minute, is they white? Then it ain't right. Nah, you ain't going over there, son. You gonna stay right here with the black folks. One day that's gonna happen. Hopefully sooner than later. But one day that's gonna happen, man. Because you got white kids shooting up everything, man. They been shooting up elementary schools. When you think school shooting, what nationality automatically pops in your brain? Is it African American? La. You understand? You think of old Bradley. Stanley. You understand? Brent. That's what you think of when you think who? Logan. That's what you think of. You understand? You think of that right there.
Ryan.
You understand? They hunt our steps. You understand? That ain't nothing new, man. I've been doing it. They hunted the Native Americans. They hunted them down. They hunted the Puerto Ricans. They hunted black people. They literally hunted black people down just for one to be free. You understand? You seen that movie Django? You understand? They was about to kill Django, man, for running away. Punished him, bound him and his woman. And all they wanted to do was live. Even though that's a fictional story, that's reality 100 times over. You understand? Read on that.
Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled. For our end is come.
You understand? And that's what a lot of black people start thinking when the cops pull them over. You understand? Now it's like black folk get pulled over with it. What's the first thing they do now? Put their phone on live. You understand? They like put the phone on live, put their hands like this. They be like, sir, turn the vehicle. I'm not touching nothing, sir. My hands stand right here, sir. I'm not moving an inch. You're going to have to, if you're going to lock me up, just take me out the car, sir. I ain't moving my hands. You understand? Because just that one interaction, a lot of black people in fear for their life. You understand? How can you blame them? How many times you got to watch black people get killed by the cops? You understand? And then get pulled over by a cop your damn self. That's like a horror movie, y'all. That's like a horror movie. You understand? To know, man, this could be it. Cops pull me over, they tripping, they walk a holding their gun. This might be it, fellas. Put it on live. And then you understand? I want you to drop that out. I want you to go to Job chapter 9. Matter of fact, give me Psalms 55 and 21. Baba Shah. Psalms 55 and 21.
Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
You understand? Listen, man. How many times we're gonna have to put our trust in our oppressor? You understand? How many times we think about all this violence, all this craziness going on in the country? Black people, who do black people turn to? What's the name? Joe Biden. They're going to Joe Biden. Joe Biden get up there. If you don't vote for Joe Biden, then you ain't black. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe he actually said that, and didn't get punched in the face. I am still to this day baffled that a brother in the world like me. I know what type of brother I was in the world. In the world, I was a filthy, disgusting pig who loved violence. And not only did I love violence, but I used to love to react to somebody saying something, like a Caucasian person saying something I felt like they shouldn't say. And I know it's other brothers out there that's just like that. Right. And I know that it had one of them brothers been in the general vicinity, Joe Biden would have got his head cracked open on national TV. Right. You understand? But Joe Biden suckered black people in, man. Sucked them in with all that hot sauce, and Hillary Clinton had the hot sauce, but you know, Democrats love pandering to black folks. Go ahead, Op.
And so like I said, when Joe Biden said that phrase, if you don't vote for me, you're not black, pretty much what he was saying was, if you don't bow down to me, you're not black.
If you don't bow down to Joe Biden, you ain't black. That's heavy. That's heavy, huh? You understand? Guess what? Joe Biden, he sucking black folks in, man. He sucked them in. You know, he think he gonna try to end what? Man, I don't even know how he sucked them in. Did he even address black murder, the murder of black people by? Nah, man, they worry about COVID-19. They don't give a damn about black people. You know what I'm saying? They worry about COVID-19 and AR-15s. That's what they worried about. You understand? In the Christian church, they so scared of guns, they all for it. They so anti-gun. Yeah, get the guns off the street. You wanna know why they with that? Because see, they look at black people who carry guns, and they have hatred in their heart for a black man who thinks who has the audacity to defend his life.
Right.
That's how Christians. I mean, that's how I think they look at it, because that's how I feel as a gun carrier. You mean to tell me you look at me like I'm the problem because I have the audacity to be prepared to defend myself? Like, you got to be kidding me. All right, no sweat. We'll see what happens when a gunman run up in the church. Oh yeah, we seen that in Charleston. You understand? We seen that with Dylan Roof.
Wow.
You understand? Dylan Roof did what? He hunted our steps. Walked right up on the steps. Walked right up on the steps. Walked in the door. You understand? With a bag with the stick in it. You understand? Killed 9 people in that church. You understand? So, our oppressors, man, they tell us every day. They give us all this BS and shove it down our throat and try to word it in the most politically correct way. They try to, oh well, it ended up coming out. Did da 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 da. Man, that man got murdered on national TV, man.
Right.
That man's supposed to be in prison for what he did, man. He murdered that man. You understand? He had his knee on his neck. At least what they call, I think in Georgia they actually have a charge for that. Like, if you doing something that results in the death of another person unintentionally, they call it malice murder or malicious murder. Is that what they call it? Malicious murder? Malicious murder. It's almost like manslaughter. But manslaughter is like an accident. Whereas malicious murder is like you intentionally doing something to harm or detain this person, and that act that you're doing results in the death of that person. They call that malicious murder. So they give you, we can see plain as day, you understand, what they really doing. But on TV, when you see any type of Caucasian person address the murder, you understand, it's like they talking in circles. They'll talk all day and don't say nothing. Then at the end of it, say something that sound good, and you like, yeah, man, I guess you're right. You understand? Because the words in his mouth is smoother than butter. You understand? Donald Trump, Barack Obama, even though he ain't an Edomite, we're going to lump him in the mix because he represented them. You understand? All them politicians, all these judges, not judges, but the mayors and the Congress, people in Congress. You understand? Them the decision makers. They not our shepherds. Those are the decision makers. Wow. They don't represent us and our interests. You understand? We black people tend to take our interests to the Christian pastor. And then the pastors do what? They come together and take it to, it's like we a whole separate thing that ain't got no power. Go ahead, Al.
So like, I think a politician in Georgia just got this Senate seat for the Democrats. It was a pastor too. I forget, it was the same pastor who supported abortion rights.
He was probably support homosexual rights too.
Pretty sure he does, sir.
Of course he does. You can't support abortion and not support homosexuality, because the same people aborting the babies is the same people cutting men's rods off and calling them Susan.
Good night.
You understand? So I mean, you can get one thing go hand in hand. You understand? So these politicians and all these leaders, man, listen, man, they not for us. They might talk a good game. You understand? They might talk a good game, say something that sound good, like how what the sister's saying now, talk to me nice. Yeah, he talked to you nice. But read on.
His words were softer than oil, yet were thy drawn swords.
Yeah, hold on, we missed the part.
You want me to start from the top?
Hold on. Yeah. Start from the top.
Psalm 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
You know what I'm saying? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Go ahead.
But war was in his heart.
But what was in his heart?
War was in his heart.
But what's in Joe Biden's heart?
War was in his heart.
But what's in Donald Trump's heart?
War was in his heart.
But what's in that pastor named Hart that just became the mayor down in Georgia? Go ahead. Whatever his name is.
War was in his
But
heart.
war was in his heart, man. These people is running these politics and all of this. These representatives that talk the TV, the news anchors, and all of them, who speak whenever we see murder in the street, whenever we see black blood spilled in the street. You understand? They get up there and they talk a good game. They talk a good game. You know what I mean? Like they all they some of them talk like they on our side. Right. This is unacceptable. This is preposterous. Meanwhile, they get off and they thanking God for the murder that their forefathers laid down. You understand? So they get up there and they talk all that game, but war is in their heart. You understand? That cop sat there and said, "Yes, sir. Please, sir. Can you step outside the car, sir? We're gonna do this, sir. Yes, sir. Just calm down, sir. We're just gonna lay you right here, sir. No problem. No big deal. I know you're upset, sir. Don't worry about it. We just gonna lay you right here until we can get you carried away, sir. Oh, don't worry, sir. Gonna put a knee on your neck, sir. Oh, you can't breathe. Don't worry about it. Just stay calm. Stop resisting. Words smoother than butter. Talk them right into dying. Like, that shit is amazing, huh? Talk them right into dying. Cause he complied the whole time. Did George Floyd not comply? Right. Cause I done seen some brothers not comply. Mm-hmm. I done seen the resisting arrest, and a lot of times resisting arrest result in a brother blowing the cop brains out, and being on a run for about 2-3 hours. I thought that was a resisting arrest, more doctor. Like I thought resisting arrest meant you ran from the cops. Little do I know, resisting arrest means you just shot and ain't trying to get tugged on. That's resisting arrest. You understand? And the whole time he talking to each other, and he complied with everything the cop told him. Cop told him sit down. He set him down, and he sat down, handcuffed. Cop like lay on your stomach. He like I can't lay on my stomach because I got arthritis or whatever he said. Next thing you know, they choking the man to death and trying to hide it off camera. Mm-hmm. You understand? The words in his mouth are smoother than butter, man. But war was in his heart. War was in that Derek Chauvin heart. That cop that killed George Floyd. Right. War was in his heart, man. Salakis, somebody keep me off a little bit of that juice. Baba Gosha. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So, hey, I can hear y'all over there. But war was in that double heart, man. You know, I done had run-ins with the cops. You know, I've always complied with the cops anytime I was ever put under arrest. You know what I mean? Anytime I was ever arrested, I always complied. But I could clearly see how quick this could turn from stop resisting to brains blowed out. You understand how I'm resisting with my hands behind my back, sir? You understand? I'm a big guy. I can't pull my arms all the way around my back in certain scenarios. You know what I'm saying? Also, you're going to have to assist me. You talking about handcuffing me, you're going to need 2 of them. like I ain't gonna be able to. You gonna think I'm resisting. That's what happened. The last time I got arrested, the cop pulled my arms behind my back, and when he pulled my arms behind my back, go ahead.
Yeah, so this whole situation with the George Floyd situation, it's just so heavy, man, and it just shows you. Of course, you understand. We all, heard about the, the stories that happened down there in Georgia with those Asians getting killed. You understand? Now, it was an Asian police officer there as well too. Right. And once again, like I said before, this just shows you how much love we have for these other nations. You understand? Because in one sentence, we like, oh, we gotta, stop hate for, the Asians. But in another sense, it's like, man, wasn't the Asian just, a part of a crime? You understand?
Right. And hold on, Salakia. I take it even further. I'm gonna let you finish, but it was an Asian cop that shot Philando Castile. You understand? Stop the Asian hate. Right. Yeah, the Asian hate the black man too. Blew his brains out and then he found out that day he ain't white. That Asian cop found out that day he wasn't white because they locked him up immediately, expeditiously, as T.I. say. But go ahead and finish.
No, that was just social life, sir.
Yeah. That's real heavy what you were saying. I was wanting you to go a little more on it, but yeah, it's like black folk, that stop the Asian hate. I wonder how many. Black folk love Asians, man. Go ahead, go ahead.
What's the movie called? Rush Hour.
Oh man.
Rush Hour. They gonna sooner or later we're gonna look on TV. You're gonna see them show Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3, just to try to unify blacks and Asians back together. And I remember one time we sat in class. We were saying that don't be surprised when you see some black homosexual out there holding a sign saying "Stop the Asian hate."
Oh yeah, it might be Lil Nas X.
Sliding down the pole.
Hey, Salakia. Hey, Salakia. Listen, I went against all warning and watched that video. I was like, man, you know what? Man, this right here, what the hell is up with this? I ain't gonna hold you. I really, for a second, I stopped paying attention to Lil Nas X once it all came out that he was, that way. Because I used to like that song, Old Town Road. And, listen. So all of a sudden that came out, I stopped paying attention to him. I started, then it started going out, well, he just doing that for a check. He ain't really like that. Some people tried to expose him, say he wouldn't like that. Man, listen, man, that man like that. Listen, man, I ain't got no doubt in my mind that man is over there. Go ahead.
Like, you remember that Old Town Road song, he did a remix, and he had everybody in the remix. He had Chris Rock, he had Ha Davis was in there, he had the Baby, he had a lot of different entertainers in there. And now they all just sitting back like, damn.
Yeah. But you know what, Salakia? I ain't mean to cut you off, Salakia. You know what? They probably not. They probably are not. A lot of them done songs with Young Thug, and Young Thug, got the whole video. He dressed like half man, half woman. You understand? They still rapping with Young Thug. You understand? Lil Wayne came on stage with leopard skin leggings on. You understand? Ain't nobody stop bumping Lil Wayne. Right. You understand? Go ahead,
Sir Prince came on stage with his ass out.
With the whole ass out.
And they still listen to his music.
Still, hey. They say, well, it's a like it.
I'm just saying, like they were selling them pants he wore at one point in time.
Oh yeah.
Find out when y'all brothers got them.
Uh-huh.
Find out when these brothers got them.
Oh, and you'll never see no pants like that in the UPK. You know, you might see something like that in some other organizations, but you ain't gonna see that in no UPK there right there. All right, so look, let's see, what scripture was we on?
We was on Psalm 55 and 21.
All right, go ahead and finish that one up.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
You understand? Our oppressor, man, has been continuously violent towards us. You understand? And us protesting is not going to get it done. You understand? Us protesting is not going to get it done. The next scripture is in the Apocrypha. You got an Apocrypha or you need this one? Ain't no sweat. That's why we keep one here. I want you to go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 23. You understand? Matter of fact, when you get that scripture, I want you to hold it. You understand? When you get that scripture, I want you to hold it. Just like put like a bookmark in it, and we're gonna hit a couple other scriptures, then we're gonna hit that one. So that's Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 23. Just hold that one, and then we're gonna go to Isaiah 9 and 16. Isaiah 9 and 16. And see, at this point, the reason why we getting murdered in the street, that rests on the hands of our black leaders. That's whose fault it is at this point. You understand? Because black folk look to them for leadership. Look to them for their moral compass. You understand? Because they may not necessarily look towards the church for actual leadership like what you find in the UPK. But the general idea of what they think comes from the Christian church. You understand? But here's the thing. That understanding in the Christian church comes from our oppressors. You understand? All of the things that we learn in the Christian church as Christians growing up in America is all about how to fit into the culture of America. And they start in first grade. You understand? I remember in first grade, it was foreign to me to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I was like, what is this? I do what? I pledge a who? And I remember my first thought when I first found out that I had to say this pledge. My first thought was, I shouldn't be doing this. Right. This don't seem right. Like I remember those thoughts. Because in my brain, I know I was only like 6 years old, but I remember something in my brain was like something like I'm pledging allegiance to the devil by saying this. Like that's literally how I looked at it. And the only reason why I looked at it like that is because before I even turned 6, when I first learned to read, my great-grandmother drilled in my brain the 10 Commandments. And I remember the 10 Commandments. It said, I am the Lord thy God, thou shalt have no other God before me. And so I was thinking like the Pledge of Allegiance got to be a sin because I'm pledging to America and not God. So, but hey, my parents was Christian, family Christian. So, I'm 6 years old. What I'm going to do? I'm going to say the goddamn Pledge of Allegiance. Because ain't nobody there to teach me different. You understand? So, a lot of that stuff we learn from childhood. And it's widely accepted and continually nourished and pushed because our families are Christian.
Right.
You understand? Because our families and the head of our household looks towards a Christian disgusting pig for his moral guidance. You understand? Read that up.
Isaiah chapter 9, verse 16. For the leaders of this people cause them to err.
They do what?
The leaders of this people cause them to err.
T.D. Jakes, Eddie Long, Al Sharpton. What's the other brother name? The one that played Medea. Tyler Perry. Michael Jordan. 50 Cent. Charles Barkley. Lil Wayne. Stephen A. Smith. You understand? Creflo Dollar. You understand? We're going to go ahead and throw some of them white pastors in there. Because black folks love them white pastors too. Joel Osteen. R. Kelly. You understand? Listen. Steve Harvey. God damn. Steve Harvey. Bill Cosby. Bill Clinton. You understand? You know what I'm saying? These are the leaders of Black America. Martin Luther King, God damn. Martin Luther King, the worst one. He got to be the worst. Listen, we just brought out earlier that the civil rights movement kind of low-key started because of Emmett Till. He took the murder of Emmett Till, the energy behind, that's so identical to the Black Lives Matter. He took that whole energy, mixed with the energy behind the pushcart workers wanting equal pay. Because he's supposed to be a black leader. He's supposed to be a voice for the black people. It's different groups of black people wanting different things. You understand? It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff black people want. He's supposed to be the voice for that. He's supposed to be the mediator between black people and white people. Man, the day before this dude had this speech, man, he went before black people, said, we gonna go up there and we ain't leaving until we get our check. I'll never forget it. I was like, look at Martin, man, acting like he all big and bold and strong. Gonna really go out there talking about we ain't leaving until we get our check. All right, Martin, well, we gonna go get that check and we gonna Million Man March right up there with you. And he got up there talking about, I have a dream that little white boys and little black girls can sit at a table together and hold hands. And didn't say nothing about the money. Didn't say nothing about the murder. You understand? They ain't even speak about the money and the murder. But what he speak about? Them white women.
Right.
That's Martin Luther King spoke about. That's all he was concerned with. You know what I'm saying? He got up there and made sure he was able to create a world where he can sleep with all the white whores he wants and not be murdered for it. That's what Martin Luther King wanted. He wanted to sleep with white women and not get hung from a tree for it. That's all he wanted. Go ahead.
Like I said, that was his dream.
That was his dream. And look, his dream is a reality today. You see interracial marriage, man. You see grown sisters now that's parents was interracial couples. Like it used to be a time where all the interracial couples had small mixed kids. Now mixed kids done growed up. You understand? That's what Martin Luther King died for. And guess what? Interracial marriage, that's the same reason why the Lord sent the flood. That's the same reason why the Lord split the kingdom of Israel. You understand? That's the same reason. That's the same, like even he said in the last days, he said, as in the days of Noah, so shall the days of the son coming of the Son of Man. You understand? That's what Martin Luther King died for. Our leaders cause us to err. You understand? Read on.
And they that are led of them are destroyed.
You understand? Think about how many black people right now is destroyed because of Martin Luther King's dream? How many black people right now in prison because of Martin Luther King's dream? How many black children died in an abortion clinic because of Martin Luther King's dream? You understand? That's just one black leader. We ain't even talking about the black. Bill Clinton is a black leader. How many black people is locked up right now in prison doing life for marijuana charges in a state where marijuana is now legal? Been in prison for 40 years. Well, it ain't been that long, but, you know, been in prison for damn near 25 years. Ain't never coming home. For selling weed. In a state where now you can go to a dispensary and buy it like you buy a damn Happy Meal. You understand? Our leaders cause us to err, man. And all of the people who follow after these leaders, Creflo Dollar, TD Jakes, you understand? Joel Osteen. You understand? All of these fake leaders, man. If you're not in the ISUPK under Commandant General Yohana, then your leaders are causing you to err. And they are going to lead you to destruction. You understand? I want you to give me Jeremiah. What is it? Give me Salakia. Was it Jeremiah 14:2? Or Jeremiah 14:1? Salakia, is that the one I'm thinking of? Envy not the oppressor. And choose none of his ways. Or learn not the way of the heathen.
Jeremiah 10:1.
Jeremiah 10:1. Is that it?
I know Proverbs 3:31 is envy not the oppressor, and Jeremiah 10:1 is learn not the way of the heathen.
I think what you say, Psalms what?
Proverbs 3:31.
Proverbs 3:31. I think that's one. That one's it. Proverbs 3:31. Hold on. Proverbs 3:31. He was right. Proverbs 3:31. See, our leaders, black leaders, all these Christian leaders, they represent the religion of white supremacy.
Right.
Cause think about it, man. Listen, man. Just do the math. Just use your brain for just 1 second, Christian. You understand? Just use your brain for 1 second. Just think about this one thing. Cause now I know every Christian church don't agree to this, but think about this, man. Think about this, right? Look at what happened in Charleston. Look at what happened in Charleston, South Carolina. Listen, man. Dylan Storm Roof run up in this building right now. He ain't making it out this building.
Yeah, right.
And ain't none of the brothers in here getting touched. You understand? That's a fact.
Right.
In that Christian church, why? Because we have righteous leadership. You understand? We have righteous leadership in the ISUPK. You understand? Ain't no sissies in the UPK. Right. You understand? Ain't none of that going on. You looking at warriors in the UPK. You understand? A lot of Christian churches is anti-gun. You understand? I know we're talking about guns, but listen, a lot of Christian churches is anti-gun. They don't believe in guns. They don't believe in firearms. They think we shouldn't have them. They think the only people that should have them is the police. You understand? That's what they feel about guns, man. And listen, and they push that on their whole congregation. Guess what? All the other black folk who scared of guns, listen, man, I done seen people see a gun that I have and damn near fall out their skin. You know what I'm saying? Man, what you doing with that? Like, man, chill out. It ain't even loaded, man. You see the magazine ain't in. Look, when we clear for you too, man. Come on, man. Chill out, man. You acting crazy now. Come on now. You understand? Scared to death of guns. Don't believe in it. They hear a gun, see a gun, They think the right thing to do is to call the police. Even though you legally own it and have a license to carry, they thinking I need to call the law. You got a gun. They think just having a gun is wrong. Well, listen now. In Charleston, South Carolina, those was brothers and sisters who thought having a gun was wrong. You understand? And look what happened to them. You understand? Our leaders look at the white man like he is God. And they desire to be just like him. You understand? So they dress like him, talk like him, hate black people like him. You understand? Actively do things to destroy the black community like him. Give black people poor leadership to keep black people destroyed and dumb and stupid, to keep white people proud and rich and on top of us. You understand? Read that scripture when you got it out.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
So envy thou not the oppressor. Don't look at the white man and be like, man, he's so powerful, man. He's so great. He look like he having fun celebrating that Christmas, buying all them Christmas gifts, got the Christmas tree, got the Thanksgiving dinner. You understand? The 4th of July, the Super Bowl, NBA championship, St. Patrick's Day. He look like he having such a great time. I want to enjoy that great time right along. Like, you know, when we was down there having camp, we seen a brother walking with a squad full of devils. The brother just looked depressed, like he was just out of pocket. Like, brother, you don't even look like you belong around here, brother. Like, brother, you need to step over here and get a flyer. Like, you look like you in danger right now. Like, you in the sunken place. You understand? Because he looks at the white man, he envies what the white man has. He looks at the white man. These Christian pastors look at white people, and they envy what the white man has. You understand? Some of these pastors have a black wife with black kids and leave all that and go get a white woman. You understand? Yeah, the Mayor Anderson did it. He grew up in the Christian church. Go ahead, Doc.
Kanye West made a song about that.
Hey, Kanye West, he warned you about it and then did it. Got it. When he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl. Well, thank you, Kanye. Thanks for the heads up. That's exactly what he did. Right. You understand? So, listen, man, envy thou not the oppressor, man. Don't look at his white woman and be like, man, I want me one of them. Ugh. She look like a billy goat. And you want the billy goat? You understand? Envy thou not the oppressor. Read on.
And choose none of his ways.
Choose none of his ways. You understand? And we're gonna pull out one more scripture. You understand? And I'm gonna show you why it's so important for us not to look at white society and think that they are so mighty and so powerful and so great, because they nothing but murderers. They are swashbucklers. You know the term swashbuckler that the pirates used to talk about? He a swashbuckler. Come to pillage, plunder, and destroy. That's all he does. You understand? We ain't supposed to envy that, man. Look at that and wish we could be like them. Wish we could have what he have. You understand? Because we not them. He's a murderer. You understand? Read that scripture that I told you to hold. And then we're going to wrap the class up.
2 and what?
Should be 2 and 23.
2 and 23. The wisdom of Solomon 2 and 23. For God created man to be immortal.
Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. God created our people to last forever, to rule forever. You understand? When he raised up the nation of Israel under Yahushua, that kingdom is going to be established forever. You understand? Read on.
And made him to be an image of his own eternity.
You understand? And he made us to be an image of his own eternity. You understand? He rose up. He raised up the nation of Israel to show his power in the earth. You understand? To show his glory and his might. You understand? The scriptures say that Israel is my battle axe. You understand? Read on.
Nevertheless, envy of the devil came death into the world.
Read that part again.
Nevertheless, through envy of the devil
Who
came
is-
death into the world.
It says nevertheless through envy of the devil. Who is the devil? Who is the devil? Go ahead.
Esau.
Esau is the so-called is the devil the Bible speak of. You understand? The so-called white man. You understand? Through envy of the white man, death came into the world. Read on.
And they that do hold of his side do find it.
Read that last part again. It said, nevertheless.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world.
So through envy of the white man, death enters into the community of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? It's that envy of white society, that envy of what they have, that wanting to be like them, to have what they have, to sleep with the white woman, to celebrate white holidays. You understand? To live like the white man, to be like the white man. You understand? To ignore everything about your own culture, to fully embrace yourself with their culture. You understand? Will bring you death, man.
Right.
You understand? That is how death enters into the black community.
Right.
Us trying to be like the white man is the reason why crack cocaine was able to get into the black community. And because of that crack cocaine getting into our community, now the gangs that was originally started to defend black lives is now one of the highest killer taker of black lives. And I say one of because Bloods and Crips is far from the number one killer of black people.
Right.
You understand? The abortion clinic is the number one killer of black people. You understand? So you talk about black on black violence, talk about violence against black people. We need to stop killing babies before we stop anything. Like, damn, we kill 400,000 a clip. And that's just black women. I don't even know the numbers of Hispanic women and Native American women. Go ahead, Doc.
So I said it was 500,000
500,000.
a year.
That's a million babies. That's a million babies a year. Go ahead.
They tricking us into killing ourselves because the babies, they going to grow up to replace us. You know, like, they going to be the rulers eventually. So, like, that's...
Right. Meanwhile, I remember there used to be a day where black man had 12, 13, 14,
Right.
25 kids.
Yeah, right.
Now black folk, hell, we squeeze out one and get hit with that child support. Oh, we get snip them, doctor, please. Go ahead, cut them things. We ain't having no more of that there, sir. Go ahead, Doc.
So like I said, to be honest with you, I have heard from numerous Edomites that I had worked on the slavery. They are the ones who are having vasectomies out of this world. Even Kenny, who we work with, he told me, he was like, I ain't having no more kids. He only has 2 children, and he said I had a vasectomy. I was like, damn.
Yeah, he want to have all the nasty child molesting sex he can have and leave no lingering evidence. Hey, that's how the white man, he's wicked and twisted and disgusting. He look at getting a woman pregnant as evidence. You know what I mean? So yeah, so read that again. So nevertheless, through envy of the devil, through envy of the white man, death came into the world of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, into our world, where at one point in time we was created to be an immortal society. You understand? Our society was supposed to last forever. You understand? But every time we look at the white man and look at what he got and think, oh man, I wish I could just have what he have. You understand? Like even in, I was going to go into the book of Maccabee. Matter of fact, Let's get that, and then we're going to wrap up the class. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. You understand? First Maccabees 1 and 11. You understand? If we can get it quick, because we definitely over on time. It's like, what time will taco place close? Salakia. Go ahead.
First Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
You understand? Of course, Israel is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Now, follow this. If you're trying to figure out who the wicked men in Israel are amongst blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, listen to this. Like Captain Thought say, hear this. Go ahead, Doc.
Who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
To do what?
Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
To do what?
Make a covenant with the heathen.
He said, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen. That's what the wicked men said. Who else did that? Martin Luther King did that. Let's go make a covenant with the heathen. Civil rights. The Civil Rights Act. That was the covenant that we made with the heathens. You understand? What other? What's the? Shit. What is it called? Nah, not Michael Jackson.
Jesse Jackson?
No, not Jesse Jackson. Damn, man, what is the term?
Oh, you gonna see that.
It's a term. Nah. Affirmative action. Affirmative action. That is a covenant that we made with the devil, with the white man, with the heathen. You understand? Affirmative action. What the hell we need affirmative action for when we got black colleges? What we need to sit on the back of the white bus for when we got a black bus?
Right.
You understand? Man, let me be the bus driver back then. I'd be like, man, I ain't going out there protesting with them. I'd be like, the hell with Rosa Parks. Like, not like, Bob, why you tripping about Rosa Parks? Shit, she know I got the goddamn bus, and I actually pulled up before the other bus, and she ain't want to get on. So she kissed my ass. You understand? Why she ain't get on the black bus? You understand? It sound good in middle school. Rosa Parks, she just didn't want to get in the back. And she sat there, and they locked her up. Next thing you know, Martin Luther King marching down the street getting bricks thrown at people's face. He took a brick to the face to sleep with white women. Go ahead, Doc.
Like, man, it's just so stupid. You think about it, you getting arrested because you want to sit on the front of the bus
Yeah.
with white people.
Yeah.
It's like, he's like, go sit in the back. I've been working hard all my. You already been working hard. Just walk to the back, sis. Where's the black bus?
Go ahead.
I just want to say that's ironic because, like, when I was in high school, we fought to sit in the back. That's what we wanted to do.
Hey,
We
we used
wanted
to
sit at the front.
Hey, we used to say that all the time. Like, ain't nobody want to sit in the front of the bus. Me personally, I don't like to sit in the front of the bus because I like to see everything, and I like to see everybody on the bus.
Right.
I want to see everything. Ain't nobody gonna be popping no guns behind my back.
Yeah, right.
I don't even sit in restaurants with my back to the door. That's I just do that naturally. You understand? But go ahead and read that out.
Let us go, Let us go and make a covenant.
Hold on,
with the
Salak, if we could start over.
in those First Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
Now this was during the time of the Maccabees, which is during the time of the Greek invasion of the nation of Israel. You understand? Through the what was the general's name? Nero. It was Nero.
He was the Emperor Nero.
Emperor Nero. It was under Emperor Nero during the Greek Empire.
Oh.
I thought it was a general. I thought Nero was a general. Salaki, we just go. It was around that time period. Go ahead.
Who persuaded many.
Who persuaded many. You understand? Meaning these are people. These are men of prominence who black people actually listen to. You understand? Like, black people don't listen to the UPK. They listen to T.D. Jakes.
Right.
You understand? T.D. Jakes is a position of power. He's one of them ones that would persuade many. Read on.
Saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen. Let's go be in agreements with white people. Let's go build with white people. You understand? Let's go be cool with them. Read on.
Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
That are round about us. Go ahead.
For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
You understand? Guess what? That's the same thing the brother said in Egypt. When they got freed out of slavery in Egypt. Man, ever since we departed from the Egyptians, man, life been so terrible, man. We've been out here in this wilderness, man, living horribly. We need to go ahead and go back. You understand? And just like that, during the Greek times, during the Greek Empire, when they was trying to invade Israel, you have black folks saying, man, let's just go over there. Let's join the Greeks, man. You understand? Because at that time, those people, they did that. So, like, does that scripture get to it? Do you see on the next verse? Read the next verse for me.
So this device pleased them well.
Go ahead.
Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
You understand? So they went and they did these things. You understand? People followed after these wicked men, and they did these things. They made a deal with the white man. You understand? Just like all the people followed after Martin Luther King. And guess what? They made that deal with the white man. And now we still paying for that, for making that deal. You understand? What the hell was civil rights for? We still dying in the street. Want to know why? Because we missed the mark during civil rights. It started out because why? Because of Emmett Till. You understand? And guess what? We did all that marching and screaming and shooking and jiving because the leaders of our people caused us to err. We got sidetracked because of our leadership. We was no longer mad because black people was getting killed in the street. Now we mad because we went from being mad because we wasn't making the same money. Right. Then we went from being mad because we can't sleep with white women.
Jeez, man,
you understand? That's what he said. He said little black boys and little white girls can sit and hold hands. That's what Martin Luther King said. And he on wax sitting with the FBI sleeping with white prostitutes. Read on.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen.
They did a what?
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen.
You understand? They built a place of exercise in Jerusalem. You understand? According to the customs of the heathens. So they playing heathen sports. We about to get it in on. You know what I mean? That's like, okay, now we think, black folk is basketball. Basketball is black folk. That's just how it goes now. We done took over the whole sport. You understand? But all that whole playing sports and all that there, the baseball, the Greco-Roman wrestling, the Olympics and all that is Greek culture.
Right.
You understand? And these wicked men led these black people to do the same thing back then and built a place of exercise, a gymnasium. You understand? Read on. And hold on, sidebar. Back then, in the gymnasium, you didn't wear no gym pants. You ain't wear no jersey. You was in there butt naked. All the grown men in there playing whatever sport they was playing butt naked. That's what gymnasium means. It means house of nakedness. Go ahead.
And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant.
Go ahead.
And joined themselves to the heathen.
Go ahead.
And were sold to do mischief.
You understand? So they joined themselves into the heathen. It wasn't a part in there where it said they admired the custom of the heathen most of all. You see that anywhere? All right, no sweat. We're going to go ahead and end it with that. With that, we're going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Mardakia. Shalom, Israel.
Hey, Christ. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, star of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can read about this in Numbers chapter 18, verses 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. We do have a Passover. The 14th date of the first month. This falls on Saturday, April 24th. You can read about this in Exodus chapter 12, verses 1 through 51. Leviticus chapter 23, verses 4 through 5. 1 Chronicles chapter 5, 7 through 8. And 2 Chronicles chapter 30 and verse 17. Remind Akim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. That's